Imagine this moment. You're sitting in your car. It smells like new leather. The AC is pleasantly cooling the air, and on the steering wheel, that logo you dreamed about. You look successful. From the outside, it seems like you made it. But then a notification comes to your phone. Banking app, another car payment deducted, and in that moment, you get this unpleasant feeling in the pit of your stomach. Your breathing becomes shallow. You grip the steering wheel tighter, but instead of triumph, you feel a noose tightening. This beautiful, expensive piece of metal around you, it's not your asset. It's your golden cage. You know that if next month your income drops by even 20%, this whole illusion will crumble. Your heart isn't racing from speed on the highway, but from fear that you can't sustain your own life. Let's talk honestly. Yet you didn't buy a car. You bought the right not to feel worse than others. But the price was your sleep. Listen, I want you to hear me right now. You're not stupid, and you're not wasteful. The problem is that you live in a world where status has become currency. They scream at us from every screen that if you don't drive a certain brand, you don't exist. That respect is engine displacement. The system is literally designed to make you feel ashamed of your old car or for riding the subway. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of the advice you've heard about finances is complete bullshit. They tell you, just save on coffee. Seriously? Your $5 latte isn't making you poor. What's making you poor is the decision to sign up for $30,000 in debt to impress people you don't even like. As we fall into the trap because we confuse looking rich with being free. The math here is brutal, but your psychology is even more brutal. You tried to patch a hole in your self-esteem with a credit contract. And spoiler, that never works, because metal can't love or give peace. Why did you do it? Let's look inside your head. When you signed the papers at the dealership, your brain exploded with dopamine. You felt like a winner. But here's the thing. Dopamine is the hormone of anticipation, not satisfaction. As soon as you drove out the dealership gates, the car started losing value, immediately 20% off the price, and your brain started looking for the next target. You fell into what I call the hedonic treadmill. You run faster, earn more, buy more expensive things, but your sense of happiness doesn't change. You just get more tired. When you buy this expensive car you can barely afford, you're not buying transportation. You're buying other people's approval. You're literally renting respect from those around you. But the problem is that people around you don't care. They look at your car and don't think about how cool you are, but about how they would look in such a car. Your loan is a tax on your insecurity. And until you change your identity from a woman who needs to impress to a woman who has capital, you'll stay poor no matter how much you earn. Your future self is literally begging you for help, because every dollar you give to the bank for rusting metal is a dollar that could have been working for your freedom. That's your untaken vacations, your unopened business, your peaceful sleep. I'm not asking you to sell your car tomorrow and go on foot, although for some people that would be the best decision of their lives. I want you to change the rules of the game. First, count in hours of life. Look at your monthly car payment. Now look at your hourly rate. How many hours do you have to sit at work, possibly a job you hate, just to pay for this piece of metal? When you realize you're working 40 hours a month just on car payments, insurance, and gas, is it worth it? It's not the car running on fuel, it's eating your time. Second, create a freedom threshold. Accept this rule. Your car can't cost more than your annual savings rate. If you can't buy this car twice with cash and not feel pain, it's not in your budget. Period. Third, Move to the side of those who own, not those who consume. Instead of paying interest to the bank, you start paying it to yourself. Imagine that this money now going to the loan is working for you. This is walk-away money, freedom money, money that tells your boss, your ex, or your circumstances, I can leave anytime. Imagine your life in a year. You leave home. Maybe you have a simpler car. Or you just call an Uber because it's more profitable today. But here's what's changed. Inside you, there's silence. You walk into a store and don't look at grocery price tags. Not because you're rich, but because you have a system. You walk into a cafe, order breakfast, and don't check your card balance before paying. Not because you're a millionaire, but because you know you have a 6-month safety margin ahead. Your peace no longer depends on the color of leather in your car interior. You're no longer playing the game of seeming. You've started the game of being. And believe me, the feeling of being the owner of your life is far sexier and more prestigious than any logo on a steering wheel. I'm Nicolina, and I study the psychology of big money. Why are some people wired for success while others are stuck in financial deficit for decades? Your financial freedom is your responsibility. Start today. Write in the comments one thing you're willing to give up for your future freedom. Let's be honest, at least with ourselves.